Okay, today we are here to meet the Antz boy, Joven, and Joven is a child of 12 years old this year, and he has been keeping ants for a period of time. So, for most of the children, their preferable pets will be cats, dogs, chinchillas, or hamsters. But this boy, the first student I ever met, who is so into ants, and that's why today we are here to find out more from you. So, okay, first of all, Joven, do share with us that actually what made you so attracted into ants? What is so special about ants? But why not earthworms or centipedes, but ants?
I prefer ants because I started watching a YouTuber called Antz Canada. He inspired me to keep ants.
Okay, so how long you have been following the Antz Canada?
Ever since I started keeping,
So it was about
was about 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago. So you told me that you have been keeping ants for about 2 years, so
Yeah.
which means that on a regular basis you keep on watching and
Yeah.
following his program. And what is the first thing you get from ants that trigger your intention that I want to keep ants?
Because
Mm.
I find them very interesting because they're not like regular insects.
Mhm.
They work together to accomplish their goals,
Mhm.
and they protect their whole colony. They also have different roles such as the queen, the
Okay.
soldier, and
Alright.
normal workers.
So usually, like I saw from your tube, which is you keep in the tube, and usually it started with one queen,
Yeah.
alright? But how it's going to operate from time to time, and how do you gauge their living, their lifestyles, when to have food, when not to, and the whole process until before you move them into a colony, I mean the house.
When you first get your queen, you don't really have to feed it
Why?
because they have stored food in their abdomens which can last until their first workers come.
So which means the first worker will be hatched from the first batch of eggs.
Yeah.
Alright, so okay, won't be other, but it has to be workers first.
Yeah.
Okay, then the following by that.
About when there's 50 or so workers, then the queen will start producing majors, which is the soldiers.
Okay. So how do you know when it's good to move them into ant house?
When there's about 10 to 25 workers.
10 to 25 workers. Okay. So since that you have been keeping them for 2 years, have you thought of giving them up?
No.
Do you mind to share the things that make you from one ant house into different species and different houses?
When I keep ants, I feel very special because out of all my friends, almost none of them have ever thought of keeping ants before. So I started introducing ants and how their lifestyles are to them, and they slowly got interested. Sometimes I would give some queen ants that I already have a lot to them, so they can start ant keeping themselves too.
Well, then now you have the so-called the ants club in your class. Okay. So what about okay, in that case, right, what is the or what are some funny things that you found along the journey?
When I give them food, for example honey and liquid stuff, they'll start putting soil in there instead of eating it first.
Do you know why?
I think it's to protect it from predators and to match it with the environment so it's not easily noticed by other ants.
Wow. All right. I never thought about that. But what are the other fun facts that you might found from your ants? But are so special than you never expect.
Sometimes they store food in their social stomachs.
Social stomachs. Okay.
Then they transfer the food mouth to mouth through a process called trophallaxis to their other ant members.
Okay. So, in this process, right? So usually, do they feed? How long they feed each other?
It only lasts for a few seconds, then they just walk off.
So did you witness the process?
Yes.
Then did you applaud them?
Not really, because it's very common.
Very common. Okay. So what about the ant? The queen ant.
The queen ant is a very important member of the colony. Most ant colonies only have one queen. The queen is responsible of laying eggs and making the colony bigger.
Alright, but I do know from you that some queen ants, they can blend in with other queen ants.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so they belongs to the more sociable queen ants. Oh, okay. That's good. Thanks for the sharing. And then, okay, among all these, right, majorly what you have is the major species you have is Fedoli, right?
This one also has majors.
Okay. Which, yeah. Major in the sense of
Soldiers.
soldiers. So they are quite big. And this is the queen, right?
Yeah.
How long you have been having this? I mean this colony.
2 years. This is my first colony.
So in the beginning you have the total member of
About 5 to 8.
5 to 8. And then now have you counted?
Not really, they're hard to count.
Okay, so these are the things that you made for them.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Then okay, in order to be a ants boy or to be an ants keeper, what will be the conditions? How would you advise your friends? Oh, you know, if you want to be the ants keeper, you have to.
You have to have the right equipment to take care of the ants, and you must do some research on the species they are keeping, so you know what temperature they need to be in, what humidity that they need to be in, and what kind of food they like.
We give you an example, the food they like. Different species, preferable food will be different.
Yeah.
For example, let's say this.
Fedoli, they have majors specialized to cut down nuts.
Cut down nuts.
Yeah, like
Okay.
with tough shells like walnuts and chia seeds and all kinds of nuts.
Okay. Then what about, let's say, this one?
Oh, this one is a type of fire ant. They're
Okay.
quite aggressive. They like to take their prey head on. Like, for example, they see a cockroach, they will attack it as soon as they sense it.
Okay. Wow. So this is much more furious than the other
Yeah.
type. Okay. So what about this? This is also the fire ants.
No, this is a type of carpenter ant.
Carpenter ant. So what are so special about carpenter ant? Do you have it here?
Yes. My first species.
Oh, okay. So what's so special about carpenter ants?
They are a great beginner species.
Mm-hmm.
They're easy to keep. They don't escape. They don't try to escape that much. And most of the time they are very calm. And they like to. They also have a graveyard where they organize all their dead and garbage and everything.
So they have located a special area for the bodies, the rubbish, and the unwanted food. Okay, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, I didn't know that so much. Wow. Alright. So anything else that you would like to share with people?
I want people to start keeping ants and figure out how how they live their daily lives and I also want to extend the hobby so more people can join me in keeping ants.
Wow, okay. So best wishes to you and thank you for your sharing. Keep up. High five. Yay.